Good morning, students. Let's start our first lecture of forcing technique is vegetable production. And in this lecture, we have to know about some general introduction about this subject, that is forcing techniques. And I will also tell you about the objectives, importance, and scope of protected cultivation. So, if I go through the learning objectives, so in this slide we you know about the general information about this subject. You get the knowledge about protected cultivation. You learn about the importance of protected cultivation in producing vegetable crops, and you also have to explain about the different types of protective structures, and you are able to describe the advantages, limitations of protected cultivation.
Starting, I wanted to clear out some kind of definitions, like what are forcing techniques. So it is the method of growing the vegetables out of the normal season. Suppose I can give you example, like if we are growing some kind of vegetable in summer season, and if we want it in December also, so we can use protected cultivation, like net houses. We can use the structures. We are using glass houses, net houses, greenhouses. So we are growing them in an artificial condition. That's why we need proper structuring and the proper implementation of these forcing techniques. And some kind of, I can say, characteristics of this type of farming is the cost of production is quite higher than the normal method of vegetable production, because the thing is we require polythene sheets. So we need PVC pipes also. So for that, the cost of production is quite, I can say, higher as compared to normal vegetation. On one side, if you want to grow vegetables, so you just take pots, or you have a smaller area like kitchen garden, and you just sow your seeds there. But in case of protected structures, you need a poly sheet, you need PVC pipes, you need a proper implementation of that particular area. Okay. Second thing, you want to use different type of structures which are different in cost. If greenhouse structure is costlier, so in case of glass, that is much more costlier than greenhouse. So this quite, I can say, very be available at very high price. Okay, so the cultivation is most intensive, and it requires special technical knowledge about it. Because if we want to go sailing in production technology, protected cultivation, so there is some we need some kind of technical knowledge also. I can't say to a normal person to grow any kind of crop in protected cultivation, because he is not appropriate for that, for growing that kind of crop in protected cultivation. So I hope that is clear to you all. So we need exhaust fans also. We need, I can say, foggers also, misters also. So for that, we need a technical person who is already working in that area. Then second thing is we have to control environment artificially. So for that, we need proper management, proper, I can say, specialist of protected cultivation. Secondly, he or she should be a background of that particular crop. The other is your definition of protected cultivation. So it is a process of growing crops in a controlled environment, and we cultivate the crops or cultivate the land of that area in off season. Okay, not in on season. On season is the normal season in which that particular crop is growing. But if we want it in our off season, so we need a protected cultivation. So we need this process. Second thing, we are modifying the natural environment also, and so that our plant growth should be at optimum level, and modification should be there for all aerial and root development, or to providing appropriate environment to our crop plants, so that we get a higher amount, and higher yield, higher amount. Next, third definition is it also indicates the comprehensive system of controlled environment agriculture. Protective cultivation is also known as controlled environment agriculture, in which we are controlling the environment. Okay, we are controlling the climatic factors. So, what are the objectives of protected cultivation? Okay, so first is we are protecting our plants from, I can say, abiotic stresses, either it is physical or by non-living organisms, and we are protecting our crop plants from cold wind, hot winds, and we are providing the irrigation at proper time by using different kind of automation techniques, like पानी जो है वो proper time पे जाए. We are using computerized system, I can say. Okay, we are also protected them from pest and disease incidents. How? Why so? Like if we are growing our crop in an open area, so you see that large number of insect and pests are affecting it in large amount. But if we are covering one thing with any kind of sheet or something else, so there is a less amount of incident of these pest and diseases. Next thing is there is efficient use of water. We can't use flooding system in it. If we are not using flooding system, so obviously the water we are using is quite minimum, and which further reduce the weed infestation because the weeds also need 99% of the water for germination. So if we are giving the water to the crop plants in drop wise, so there is a less weed infestation. So one thing more, weed infestation means the I can say the spreading of weeds in a large amount. It's just like the infection. One first infection came on a single individual, but infestation came on large number of I can say plants. Okay. And we are using different kind of micro irrigation systems in protected structures or protected cultivation like drip irrigation, sprinkler irrigation, foggers. Okay. So and it can I can say the micro irrigation system we are using in our protected cultivation saves about 60 to 70% of the water. Okay. Second thing, we are getting higher productivity per unit area. How? Like suppose I'm taking subsidy of doing the protective cultivation. I want to build a poly house, right? So that is in a small area I can see, and I know there is less test, less diseases, less incident of all the abiotic and biotic stresses. So the production should be maximum at that time because it doesn't require any kind of I can say pesticide spray or herbicide spray. It is very reduced form. I can say I can make pesticide herbicides in very less amount if there is an incident of such kind of pest or diseases in it. Second, these type of crops have high value and are of very good quality. Okay. Third is we are propagating these type of material by using some kind of peat moss we are using. Okay. And for improving their germination percentage, the propagation method is the best method for a healthy plant, and it will be a disease-free plant. Second thing, we are using year-round and off-season production, okay, of flowers and vegetables and crops. So we are when we are producing flowers, so we are using mostly cut flowers like gladiolus, rose. We are producing this kind of flowers, and in case of vegetables, we are producing tomatoes, capsicum, yellow, red, okay, green, and then we are also producing some kind of fruits. And the last point is the production of disease-free and genetically better transplants. So when we are transplanting our seedlings in the polyhouses, so they should be disease-free and they are genetically better than other, I can say, other transplanting seedlings. Okay. So next is the scope and importance of protected cultivation. So first point is cultivation in problematic agriculture zones. So we have near about 75 million hectare of the land in India, which is considered as the I can say problem, which are come under problematic soils and which have conditions like they are barren, uncultivable, okay, wasteland, fallow land, or grazing land. I can say desert. Okay, so it is very small portion, so we can easily I can say produce our crops by using protective cultivation structures. How we can use different kind of this hydroponics and aeroponics in which we are using water. So similarly, on that area, that wasteland, we can use our protective cultivation system there. Okay, by using different type of I can say sphagnum moss we are using that. Okay, for the I can say seedling purpose. Okay, we can grow in them in pots also. We can make shelves and place pots. Okay. Next one is greenhouse complexes around metropolitan and other big cities. So the major scope is also that we are seeing greenhouse everywhere. Then where we are going, we see about I can say in average 5 to 6 poly houses if we are going from 50 kilometers around our area. So there some are in small size, some are in bigger size, some have large cultivable areas, some poly houses, some have low, but they are I can say they are improving their I can say cultivation process. Okay. So these big cities are, I can say have the need of oxygen because आपको पता है कि जब आपको पिज्जा खाना है कैप्सिकम हर मौसम में नहीं मिल सकती सो यू नीड आप क्या करोगे वहीं पे अपना पॉली हाउस लगाओगे आसपास में आप सेल कर सकते हो सो वहाँ पे जो एक्सपीरियंस है इन सिटीज इन बिग सिटीज द एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ ग्रोइंग ऑक्सीजन varieties and high value crop are quite we are doing export also and in previous year we get maximum profit from the exporting and importing purpose also. And our off-season varieties are very, I can say, very good as compared to our normal varieties. They are costlier, but Other countries can easily afford them. And from foreign countries, we get maximum money source, I can say. Next is the greenhouse for plant propagation. We also use greenhouse for research and development purposes. So we are raising seedlings there. We are using cuttings. Like in flowers, we almost do cuttings. Okay, like in case of rose, in case of rose, we are just taking its cutting and just planting in our greenhouse. So plant propagation, I can say asexual propagation is mostly greenhouse technology as a base for other biotechnologies, like not for biotechnology, also for engineering purpose. Those who are doing the soil engineering and masters and PhDs, so they are improving their, I can say, engineering techniques and bringing some kind of important or good techniques for our greenhouse technology, like drip irrigation. They also invented sprinkler irrigation with different types of nozzles, different kinds of sprayers they are inventing. Similarly, for greenhouse technology, some kind of we can also go for there for tissue culture. And we also do various biotechnical technological methods. In some university, there is a proper polyhouse in which only research work is done. That is not for the commercial purpose. And for study purpose, it is very good to carry out these kind of studies in further. If you are interested in doing masters, so it's better to choose horticulture and in specialization to I can say greenhouse technology, or you can also go with engineering. Okay. So last point is cultivation of rare and medicinal plants. So as you all know that some all the medicinal aromatics or spices are belong to south area. So if we want to grow it in our area, so we need protected cultivation structures. So we can easily grow them. So rare species of should also be grown, like some kind of succulents. In our agency agro farm, we have seen that different type of succulents are present there. Okay, which are exported from other countries, and still we are growing in our countries in our shade nets and polyhouses. So we are providing them the appropriate and optimum temperature for growing of these rare species and exotic species. Then I will tell you about different kind of protective structures we are using nowadays. Like first is tunnel, second is net houses, third is greenhouse, and fourth is mist chamber. So the tunnels, always the tunnels before water. So the tunnels are divided into two parts. One is low tunnel, and the second one is walking tunnel. I will show you the picture. So basically, the low tunnels, I can say, the tunnels are a temporary structure. If high winds came or there is a only it is just for protection purpose in foggy area, foggy days. Okay, when there is a December season, when there is a fog all over here, so we can use tunnels. Mostly we have to create microclimates, so we use tunnels, and they are divided into low tunnel. So the first image is a low tunnel that you usually see in your nearby areas, and second is walking tunnels. That is for smaller area. We make in a smaller area, we make 4 to 5 walking tunnels. But when there is a high wind or I can say hailstorm, so they can be easily destroyed. But we can use it for making seedlings or protecting our seedlings purpose. Okay. Then our net houses. The net houses are of two types. Okay. One is insect-proof net house and second is shade net. So in first there is a net house, insect-proof net house, in which you are saying that from every side it is covered without any exhaust fan. It's not having any kind of exhaust fan. We are just maintaining it. We are protecting it from pests and diseases. Okay, and another you already see in the nurseries. We are using shade nets just to protect our seedlings from the UV rays coming from the sun. So the net of is of different colors, green, yellow. Okay. So for insect-proof net, we are using mesh around 0.55 mm. Our greenhouses, which it is a permanent framed structure, or it requires 14 to 15 days to proper establishment of greenhouse. If there is a proper technical, I can say proper technical label we have. So it is a transfer. We are using translucent material. We use polythene kind of material in it, and we are making it through PVC pipes. But some kind of greenhouses are also made of the bamboos. In Nepal, I think I heard it that in Nepal they are making it by using bamboos because PVC pipes are quite higher in weight. So protected structure mostly work on greenhouse effect. So what is greenhouse effect? As you all know that the greenhouse gases are methane, carbon dioxide, CFC gas. Like similarly, like we have Earth, I will animate you wait a second. So this is our Earth, right? As you all know that pollution is increasing and the percentage of carbon dioxide, the methane is also increasing. So these gas cannot come out of the Earth's surface because of ozone. There is a ozone layer outside the Earth. So what happens? The gas going on the upper side of the Earth and make Earth more hotter. Okay, the humidity is increasing day by day because it is increasing in very high amount. Similarly, उन gases को बोला जाता है greenhouse gases. Okay, so that's why the temperature of this greenhouse is hotter than the outer temperature. So that's why it is known as greenhouse effect. तो इसको इसीलिए ग्रीन हाउस बोला जाता है क्योंकि जो अंदर का टेम्परेचर है क्वाइट हम बोल सकते हैं उसको वहाँ पे ज्यादा करते हैं मिस्ट चैम्बर्स वी आर यूजिंग मिस्ट कॉपर लाइक ऐसे कॉपर्स वी आर यूजिंग फैंस वी आर यूजिंग सो when we are doing the permanent greenhouse structures, we are using fans, pads, hanging covers, humidifier systems, and they are already covered with the polythene or glass and shade and cladding materials. So what are cladding materials? These are those materials which we are using for covering purpose. Next is advantages of protective cultivation. First is it can be grown in unfavorable agroclimatic conditions. It doesn't need favorable condition to grow our crop. Okay, we have to set up our polyhouse, greenhouse, and just grow our crop. It doesn't need any kind of favorable agroclimatic condition. Second is certain vegetables can be grown around the year, like capsicum. You can take it all over the year. Okay. Then the quality of the produce is quite superior because there is a less disease, less pest, so there is a less damage to that crop period. And it has a good quality because we are supplying less amount of fertilizer there, so that's why it has a good quality produce. Next is there is a higher input use efficiency because we are giving our 110% while doing protected cultivation. So the input usage efficiency is higher. We can't waste anything. We are using everything and we are using it in proper manner. And similarly, we are getting maximum output. Next, there should be the management of insect pest and disease and weed is quite easier if they are attacking or incident in our protected cultivation system. How? Because it is not a, I can say, not in a large scale we are doing. It is in very small scale now, 1 acre also, some square meters. Okay. So the I can say the controlling of these insect pest and disease is quite easier than the normal crop grown commercially focus on a large scale without any protected structure. Next is the agriculture income per unit area increases because these crops आपको से ही पता कर लोगे कि ये crop अच्छी है ये organic है and second thing polyhouse से निकले fresh होगी without any injections. So the agriculture income per unit area is also that increases. Next is the provide excellent opportunity to produce vegetable as some kind of limitation also. First is for the initial infrastructure. Okay, we have to borrow land. Okay, we need capital, we need labor. So the cost of infrastructure is quite higher. Okay, then we need a skilled human power. Okay, we don't need any I can say unskilled person. We need a skilled person. Next is all the operation are very intensive and require constant effort. Of course, you need supervision, continuous supervision for this. Okay. For protective cultivation, you have to need a proper supervision. Because if you are using micro irrigation systems, which are computerized or working on a computer or automated systems, so you also need a technical, I can say, वहाँ पे भी आपको उसकी maintenance के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा पैसे लगते हैं. It requires proper finance, proper time and effort. Without effort, you can't do any protective cultivation. You have investment of your time, of your resources, about your finance, and these की कुछ limitations हैं. This lecture is quite helpful to you all.